So this one's a little bit of a doozy. If you've been paying attention to Nintendo news lately, you would know that Nintendo just recalled all of the Wii U's in any retail stores back to their location. And nobody really knows why. If you go on any website such as Best Buy, GameStop, whatever, all you can get are pre-owned Wii U's or Wii U's sold by other sellers that aren't official retailers. Now, why could this be the case? Why would Nintendo just recall all the Wii U's at this point in the game? It's December 2016, there are new consoles coming out in just a few months. So what's going on? Here's what I think is going on. The way something is priced has a certain psychological effect on the average consumer. Not the educated consumer who knows what they're buying, but the average consumer, the kind that I was talking about in my PS4 Pro and Xbox Scorpio videos. If Nintendo has the Wii U out, and it's $299 right now, and then the Switch comes out, and then that's going to be either $250 or $299, it's going to make the average consumer feel a little weird about buying a new piece of hardware with that same price, at least so close together. That's why console generations oftentimes work just fine, because the system of the previous generation, its price goes down and down over time, and then you see the new one comes out, which is at a higher price. That's to be expected. So what Nintendo's doing now is they basically just pulled the Wii U's off the shelves, so by the time a few months has passed and the Switch has come out, the average consumer isn't going to remember, you know what, just last week there was another system that was the same price from Nintendo, and now there's this one. What just happened? Like, I just bought that other system, I feel ripped off, blah blah blah, or whatever kind of weirdness can come from having two similar price systems at similar times. However, Nintendo isn't just going to drop the Wii U like nothing right now. And I know that seems kind of contrary to the reports we've heard of Nintendo ending Wii U production, but what we know right now is that Nintendo has ended the production of the Wii U that is currently on the market, so the current model Wii U. Kind of like how Microsoft ended the production of the original Xbox 360 when the Slim came out. Same thing with the PlayStation. Look at the PS4, with the regular base model, then the Slim model came out. The previous iterations of the same hardware will cease production when the new ones come out. That's just, common sense. So what I think is happening is Nintendo is finally releasing a kind of similar thing to what the Wii Family Edition is for the Wii U that cuts the cost heavily and lets the system be more affordable. I think Nintendo is doing this so that they can get some Wii U software sales going, so that they can get a slightly larger Wii U install base, and to give a Wii U to the people who really wanted one but didn't want to shell out $300 for a system that frankly wasn't really worth $300. So why did Nintendo wait so long to do this? Truth be told, they should have released a cheaper version of the Wii U back in 2015. Heck, 2014 if they could have, although, that would have been cutting it a little short. Why did they wait so long? Well, simple. They wanted the production of the Wii U's that were already produced and manufactured to be mostly sold out. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you look at the overstock shelves, for example, above the shelves at Best Buy, you would see, well, you can't see it now, but you would have seen that there was maybe one or two extra Wii U boxes in addition to the one that is on the shelf, and they don't hold Wii U's in the back. They keep them all on the upper shelf, while you would see huge stacks of Xbox Ones, huge stacks of PS4s. So, obviously there weren't that many Wii U units out in the wild to begin with. Nintendo just wanted to wait for those to slowly sell out so that they wouldn't lose as much money once it came time to recall that model of the Wii U. As cool as it would have been to have a price-dropped Wii U back in 2015, this is pretty much what they had to do to avoid wasting money, and we all know they've been doing that plenty. So what kind of hardware changes could be done to the Wii U to produce a cheaper-to-build model that would sell for around $99 to $150? Well, that's actually pretty easy to figure out. If we take a look at the history of Nintendo systems, dating all the way back to the original NES, what happens when a cheaper variation of a console comes out, meant to, drop the price, is that some ports and features are taken out. For example, most recently we had two variations of the Wii in addition to the original one. The Wii Family Edition cut out the GameCube ports and controller support and memory card and all that, which brought the price down a little bit. And then there was the Wii Mini, which basically cut out everything except for the ability to play the games, including all the online features. So they basically cut down features of these systems and then sold them at a cheaper price. So here is my estimation for a price-cut Wii U that'll cost around $99 to $150. First things first, any unnecessary ports in the thing are going bye-bye. The Wii U has 4 USB ports, and no one's going to be using all of those USB ports unless you're me and you have the GameCube adapter and you have an external hard drive that has to use 2 USB ports. But for the average person, it doesn't need 4 USB ports, so that'll be cut down to 2. The second thing that'll happen is that every single video, the other video out port on the thing, which supports composite and component, that's going to be cut out too. The vast majority of people connect their Wii U up with HDMI, and that's what the average person who's looking for a cheaper Wii U is going to get. So we're going to see that main AV port cut out, and it's just going to have HDMI. Another thing we're going to see a more simplified case with maybe a matte plastic finish that's a little cheaper to produce, maybe a little bit less. I mean, the Wii U doesn't exactly have the most intricate design in the world, but, you know, they might just simplify it a little bit and give it an easier and cheaper to manufacture design on it. That also includes the gamepad, too. Do you remember that gamepad in that Mario Kart commercial from a while back that we thought was going to be part of a slimmed-down Wii U with a newer gamepad? I'll put the picture up here on the screen. That right there could very well have just been something for a commercial, but who knows, like, something like that could be used to make the gamepad cheaper to produce, too, because the gamepad is a large amount of the manufacturing cost of the Wii U to begin with. Now, okay, we removed some ports, we slimmed down the system a little bit. What else could be done to bring the system all the way from $300 to like $99 or $150? Because, let's be honest, if Nintendo could really drop the price of the current model Wii U without losing too much money, they would have done it already. There's a reason why they haven't dropped the price yet, because Nintendo, in the past, has dropped the price of their system when the sale is slowed. Remember when the GameCube was dropped to $99 just a few years into its price? Into its release? This may sound crazy, and this may sound stupid, but I personally think that all of the stuff inside the thing that'll make it backwards compatible for Wii games is going to be cut out. So the sensor bar port, gone. The two USB ports on the front were actually the ones that were meant for Wii stuff, but those will be obviously gone. The SD card slot, gone. This wouldn't remove backwards compatibility with Wii stuff, but it would make it pretty damn impossible to have a lot of features that the Wii requires. So I wouldn't be surprised if that stuff getting cut out, just to simplify things down a little bit and ease confusion for customers, results in Wii backwards compatibility just getting nixed altogether, and the new remodeled Wii U just being made to play Wii U games. And this may sound crazy and stupid, and it sounds like Nintendo would just be cutting out a feature that would be a selling point for the Wii U, but you have to remember that they did that with the Wii Family Edition when that was released, and that was decently late into the console's life cycle. Maybe not as late as what we would be seeing here, but it is pretty decently late. And people oftentimes loved playing their GameCube games on their Wii because that was a inexpensive way to play GameCube games with the component cables without having to shell out several $100s just for the GameCube component cables. So let's quickly summarize what this Wii U 2.0 could be to lower the costs. So first things is it's going to remove all unnecessary ports, such as the extra audio-video port, the extra USB ports. None of that extra stuff will be needed. It's going to simplify the manufacturing process to use less materials and less time to actually manufacture things, so we're going to see a different design body, a different gamepad, maybe with more of a matte plastic, and possibly we would see Wii backwards compatibility nixed, so that they could get rid of even more ports on the thing and make it even cheaper to produce. So that's what I think is going to happen, just based on knowledge of previous Nintendo systems. Of course, I could just be talking shit right now, and everything I say could become completely untrue, but I just highly doubt Nintendo would pull their system off of the shelves this early on without even letting it sell out. I think that there's a reason behind it, and if the reason is them doing something that they've done in pretty much every console generation so far, then that just makes the most sense to me. And you know what? I'd be totally okay with seeing like a $99 Wii U on the market. It would let some people buy some amazing games that were made for the system that a lot of people are missing out on because they understandably don't want to drop $300 on a dead console. So anyways, that's it for today. Let me know in the comments what you think is going on. What do you think Nintendo is doing, and why do you think that they recalled all the Wii U's and had them pulled out of stores? Would it make sense for them to do what they've done in pretty much every console generation except for the N64 and GameCube? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, and you have a great rest of your day.